Space Adventure Cobra, an anime series which is heavily westernized, featuring the adventures of a manly space pirate named Cobra and his partner, Lady, who fight against the space pirate mafia known as the Guild. His stories are mostly episodic, but they contain short arcs heavily focusing on action, science fiction, aliens, sexy girls, and jazzy music. In short, this isn't Space Dandy, but if you want something episodic with a bit more of a serious touch, then watch Cowboy Bebop. Or you can watch Cobra. The purpose of this video is to help people who are interested in the Cobra series and want to know how to start it. Since Cobra has a couple of anime and manga series, a quick guide is necessary. The manga originally debuted in Weekly Shonen Jump in 1978, but since not much of the manga can be found online, this video will mostly focus on the numerous anime adaptations. Due to recent development of a new Cobra anime, this video will contain updates in its description, or I could instead make a part 2 for this anthology, but until then, let's focus on what's available. As I said before, Cobra began as a manga in 1978, which ran for 18 volumes till 1984. In 1995, the series had a digital colored sequel which ran for 15 volumes. I'm unsure of the sequel's actual title since the original Japanese release in 1995 says Space Adventure Cobra, while the 2013 digital version says Cobra, the Space Pirate. It also doesn't help that each volume has its own separate subtitle, such as 1 and 2 are named The PSYCHOGUN, while Volume 3 is called Legend of Mandrad, and Volume 4 is called Galaxy Knights, and this continues for all 15 volumes. And from comparing chapter summaries on the French website Cobra World, this sequel also consists of remakes or retellings on previous stories in the first Cobra manga. I originally planned to speak only of the anime series, but as I was researching Cobra for this video, I made a discovery. Apparently, since late 2014, Movie Owl Rights have been digitally licensing the Cobra sequel manga. If you type Cobra the Space Pirate in Amazon's Kindle store, you will come across all 15 volumes in the English language. I found a free trial on the website Bookwalker, and yes, it's in freaking English. And to end the manga section, here's the correct order of volumes. Cobra's first animated appearance is the Space Venture Cobra movie, directed by Osamu Dezaki. The film adapts the first story arc of the manga, which follows Cobra's introduction, his encounter with Crystal Boy, and his romance with hot triplets. However, many differences exist between the film and its source material, which vary from character design, character history, characterization, but most importantly, character voices. At the time of the movie's creation, the anime series was also being made, and would air a few months after the movie's release. For whatever reason, the film contains a mostly different cast from the TV series, but the one who's affected by this change the most is Cobra himself. The Japanese voice actor for Cobra, being Matsuzaki Shigeru, was a very big miscast for the character. Something about his voice just didn't fit with Cobra. In contrast, the TV series actor Nozawa Nachi would continue to voice Cobra to the year 2009. I originally saw the film in the Streamline Pictures English dub, and later saw the anime series in Japanese dub. So when I decided to rewatch the film in Japanese, I was immediately turned off by Shigeru's performance. As I said already, something about his voice just doesn't work for the character, so I highly recommend you watch this film in its English dub. The Space Adventure Cobra movie is available from Discotek and recently received a Blu-ray release. No, this movie actually has 2 English dubs, but chances are you will rarely come across the other dub. The Discotek release contains the American Streamline Pictures dub, while the more eccentric UK dub was from Manga Entertainment. This rare version of Space Adventure Cobra changed the film's soundtrack with music performed by electronic band Yellow, which heavily affected the movie's tone, resulting in a very unusual experience. You can tell just by watching the trailer. I think the only way you can see this version is by torrents or through an older home video release, but I did find a few clips on YouTube, including a trailer and an Espanol version of the film which used the Yellow band music. So to summarize, the movie can be compared to the Fist of North Star 1986 film, as it contains plenty of incredible visuals and several changes in the story, but will help serving as a gateway to the anime series. The story centers on love and manliness with plenty of sci-fi action and colorful pictures to keep you entertained. And a few months later, we would get the 1982 Space Adventure Cobra anime with 31 episodes. This anime series is by far the best of Cobra. Well, unless the 2016 anime makes some sort of big impact. Currently, it's the essential Cobra experience as it follows several chapters from its manga. As mentioned earlier, the Triplet Sisters arc is also shown in this anime, which is closer to its source material, but it also adapts other stories such as the famous arc of Rug Ball!
Sport you'll invent cause you'll be too energetic for normal sport!
The anime is mostly episodic by nature, but provides plenty of creativity with science fiction ranging from duck people, sexy ladies, sword people, sexy ladies, aliens, sexy ladies, and of course, space pirates! Like the title suggests, it's a space adventure that is worth your time. Plus, this should be your favorite Cobra experience as 31 episodes are plenty of time to fully understand Cobra's character, such as his swag manliness! Like the movie, the TV version is also directed by Osamu Dezaki, heavily utilizing his trademark postcard memories, providing manly imagery! The anime series has been subtitled and released by Nozomi Entertainment in a 2-DVD set, including an art box, and a very recent video interview with the creator of Cobra, Buichi Teresawa. This set also includes the original Cobra pilot from 1981, which is only in English dub. Given that the entire pilot is only found in English and predates both the movie and anime series, this implies that Cobra nearly made it into an English-speaking audience. With the completion of these 31 episodes, Cobra would fade from the world for over 20 years, and would return in 2008 with an OVA series titled Cobra, the Animation, The PSYCHOGUN. This OVA adapts material from the 1995 manga sequel, specifically volumes 1 and 2, called The PSYCHOGUN. The story follows Cobra helping a woman named Utopia who is hunted by the guild due to her grand discovery of an ancient weapon. Crystal Boy also makes a return, although he doesn't look that good. While the updated animation looks great for Cobra, unfortunately it also uses CGI that doesn't blend too well with the rest of the scenery. Another difference from the previous anime is the series displaying more booty shots than usual, but the original manga and anime already had plenty of nude women, so the fan service here really emphasizes the booty.
Yeah. The booty, baby!
Another brief change would be the soundtrack, as it's not as jazzy as the previous anime, but the overall content does deliver in space pirate manliness. Despite only being 4 episodes, it does give a similar feel to the 1982 anime, especially when the voice actors for Lady and Cobra reprise their roles, and would continue to do so for one more installment. The following year, another OVA was released called Cobra, the Animation, Time Drive, which focuses on the origin for Cobra's partner, Lady. This time, the story is a romance between Cobra and Lady, which is a bit odd as previous adaptations don't really give much details about the relationship. From what's available in animation, there's been very little hints of romantic feelings, if any, as from my viewpoint, Cobra and Lady seem to be purely friends, partners, or co-workers, nothing resembling passionate love as portrayed through this OVA. After looking at the volume covers, it's safe to say that this OVA adapts material from the Cobra sequel manga. Volume 6, Time Drive. As the name suggests, these 2 episodes include time travel, where we get 2 Cobras! Despite the heavy emphasis on romance, the story holds up mostly well, but things really start to move in the next installment. In 2010, we had a 13-episode series simply called Cobra, the Animation! What? No subtitle this time? Cobra the Animation once again adapts material from the 90s manga, ranging from Golden Gate, Legend of Mandrad, Galaxy Knights, and possibly more material from the 1978 and 1995 manga. Sadly, Nozawa Nachi retired from voice acting and later passed away. So, Cobra is now played by Uchida Naoya, who gets the job done, but it does take a little while to get used to. The 2010 series surprisingly brings back the usage of Dezaki's postcard memories. I only wish the music would stand out like the 82 series, but the openings for both Time Drive and the 2010 anime are really good, and might even be the best of the entire series. A lot of the episodes compose of story arcs, but there's a few single episodes as well, so this anime adaptation does feel the closest to the 1982 anime. Action, science fiction, fine ladies, and manliness makes up the content of Cobra the Animation, and for many years it seemed this would be Cobra's last anime adventure. But this heads into a teaser released in 2016, Cobra, The Return of Joe Gillian. Aside from the rug ball imagery, there's really not much else I can say due to lack of information. I would like to make a sequel to this anthology whenever the new anime reaches its premiere and concludes to give a detailed impression about the 2016 series. And speaking of the future, it is unknown whether it will be licensed, and the same goes for the previous anime. So far, only the 1982 movie and anime have been released in the United States. Cobra the animation from 2008 through 2010 have yet to be picked up by any American anime licensor or distributor, but I did find some odd news. Apparently in 2010, as a celebration for Cobra's 30th anniversary, Crunchyroll used to stream all of Cobra the animation, including the PSYCHOGUN, Time Drive, and the 2010 anime. As of March 2016, for whatever reason, these 3 anime are no longer available, but the anime series and movie can still be found on official sites, such as Nozomi's YouTube account, Crunchyroll, and Hulu. With the release of the 2016 Return of Joe Gillian, maybe Cobra the animation will get licensed and hopefully have some sort of home video release. I'm going to sound like a broken record since I always say this, Space Adventure Cobra is one of my favorite series, and I'm always happy to receive more material. So if you want to get into Cobra, I suggest watching either the movie or the 1982 anime series first, since Cobra the animation does spoil some events. Plus, if you don't like the original anime, then I highly doubt you'll like its newer stuff. I also recommend watching these videos being 2 AMVs by Attack Their Return, 04 being Cobra Space Adventure, and Mr. Rugball. The last 2 videos include a music video by the French band Justice and their song Newlands, as it's partly inspired by Cobra's Rugball arc. And lastly is my video on Cobra's character profile for the top 20 most manly anime characters. I hope this video helped and the new 2016 anime better be good. I'm the Anime Hero and I review anime so you can enjoy it.